So it looks like Rell Seas has already failed. And I know what you guys are probably thinking, how can it already fail? The game hasn't even came out. And I was thinking the same thing, don't worry, so you're not alone in that thought process. But not only is this YouTuber calling Rell Seas a failure, he's also calling SwiftDFG a disgustingly trash YouTuber. And honestly, I wasn't even gonna cover this video, it really has nothing to do with me, except the fact that it really does, because he has to make things personal with me in this video for literally no reason, like I actually don't know him at all. Like Rell Games might as well give me a jersey or something, let me on the team officially, the way I'm getting trash talked like I'm part of Rell Games ownership or something. Like these days we can't just have differing opinions. If you hate Rell Seas, you gotta hate me too. It's part of the deal now. But let me show you guys just a small part about this YouTube video.
Rell Seas is a massive disappointment. I'm sorry, it's a bushy little bubble, but Rell Seas isn't and will not be the epitome of Roblox anime games. It just won't live up to the standards you people and these shitty content creators created.
So just in the beginning, you will notice he was not holding anything back. He was spitting all over Dream Chaser's face, letting us know everything about what he feels right now. And I want you guys to pay attention to the end. At the end is not only he specifically called me and other Rell Seas YouTubers shitty content creators, he also says us content creators are the ones holding this ridiculously high standard for Rell Seas, and we're the ones putting this like golden rule on them where they can't have any bad things or any mistakes in the game. When in reality, it's him, and y'all will see why in a second.
Yes, the models are amazing. Yes, the progression is good. Yes, the combat is decent, but that's literally it. The VFX and SFX are all mediocre.
And already what he's saying makes no sense. The first thing he does is trash talk the impact frames in Rell Seas. First of all, he's using an unfinished version of the actual gravity fruit. You would think when you're creating a whole video bashing a game, you might do just a little bit of research, but clearly he didn't. But even then, even if they were still using that old version of the gravity fruit, it doesn't look bad to me. Am I the only one that thinks this? So maybe me and all of you guys aren't the ones with this ridiculously high standard for Rell Seas. Maybe it's him. He literally said the models are amazing, the gameplay looks good, the combat looks good, but no, of course the VFX not being great, the game has got to be a failure, the game is a disappointment. But like I said, we're the ones with the ridiculously high standard. But would you guys believe me if I told you it gets way worse than just this? And I'll show you guys, so you don't just gotta trust me, I'll actually show you.
You can't compare it to most battleground games at the moment. And here's a simple comparison if you believe that I'm bullshitting.
And this comparison is just funny to me literally any way you put it. The first thing is he's comparing a Battlegrounds game to an MMORPG game. In a Battlegrounds game, all they have to do is make scales, so of course they're gonna spend all their time making the scales look nice and beautiful. I mean, the Battlegrounds game is literally on a base plate. They don't have to worry about anything else. But then he cherry picks arguably probably the coolest move in that game and compares it to a normal standard Rell Seas kit move that's not an ultimate or anything crazy at all. Now let me show you guys some other examples of Rell Seas moves, and you'll see it's a lot closer when you actually pick similar standard of moves. But even then, it shouldn't even matter because that's never why Rell Seas was supposed to be great. No one ever said Rell Seas visuals, Rell Seas effects look so nice. That was never the reasoning to any of us. But of course, we're the ones that think Rell Seas is supposed to be this perfect epitome, as he said. Perfect epitome, no mistakes, perfect game. But you know, that's us. But would you believe me if I told you he makes his point look even dumber while simultaneously proving my point?
Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Rell Seas is a bad game, but fundamentally, for a game to be hyped as the messiah of Roblox anime games, there's a very basic checklist that can't be left unchecked. Battleground games cater themselves to very good visual and audio effects, which is understandable since combat is the main principle of the game. But Rell has $1 million budget and a massive developer team backed by years of experience. There is absolutely zero excuse for them to not deliver in every aspect of the game other than not wanting to.
So at the end there, he finally admits it. There's no reason Rell Seas shouldn't be perfect in his opinion unless they don't want it to be perfect. This whole time he was projecting, saying our standards were ridiculous, but the whole time that's what he thinks it should be. And that's not what you think, that's not what I think. I don't even know anyone in my comments that thinks Rell Seas should be the perfect game. And I don't even understand this logic. Nowhere did Rell Seas ever say they have $1 million budget. They said they spent 100K. That's not even close to a mil, first of all. But even if they did have $1 million budget, it really doesn't change anything. They're still limited to the most that the Roblox engine algorithm will let them do, and they're limited by the most important thing, time. I mean, they're making 32 fruits on release. You think they can make them all look like Saitama Battlegrounds moves? And even if they could, even if they had the amount of time to do things like that, that would still mess with the optimization of the game and mess with the actual gameplay flow of the game. But then he goes on to nitpick even more things.
It's really not rocket science. You don't have to be an audiophile to realize these sound effects just don't sound compact or immersive. Whooshes sound indirect or have no impact. The blades and punches do not fit the weapons or swings, and the impacts sound muffled. It's just a shit fest. Then if you don't believe me, go ahead and listen. And for the visual effects, unless you're bug-eyed or mentally deficient, there's no way you can't tell the clear difference between other games' animation or visual effects.
And this is just too funny to me. I don't understand what standard he has on these games. This laser sound with the light move sounds completely fine to me, and I assume everybody else. I never heard anyone complain about this. And then he puts a Gura cutscene, which isn't an ultimate ability, by the way, just a normal standard move, closer to like a Battlegrounds move, if anything. And he says the visuals in this game are complete trash. I don't understand what we're expecting from this game. And I don't want to say the same thing again, but it gets even worse.
A studio with $1 million budget, or maybe even more, who's hired the best developers when he can get, delivering something so shallow is amusing. And Rell is aware of this. They don't claim the titles that people have given them. They've stood neutral, which is what I respect about them. Which is why I'm sick and tired of this shameless dick sucking done by dishonest content creators, just circle jerking each other.
So once again, he's trash talking all the Rell Seas and just content creators in general at this point. And in this video, he brings me up as a specific example multiple times. And we haven't even gotten to some of the parts where he's talking about me, but I just love how he brings me up specifically multiple times, but conveniently doesn't bring me up specifically when it's something that I personally didn't talk about. I never said that Rell Seas will save the Roblox anime community. In fact, I made a video on this situation kind of recently. So I just think it's funny that he doesn't mention it, and all of a sudden now we just put him in the content creator box and we be very broad and don't bring up any specific names. But it honestly just seems like he hates when people are positive about literally anything. If you go to his channel, the most recent videos on his channel are all hate videos. A Holy War hate video, a Rell Seas hate video. What's next? A Pocket Anime hate video? A matter of fact, why don't you make top 10 most overrated games of 2024? What I personally like to call YouTubers like this are members of the TBD. And now you're probably wondering, what does the TBD stand for? Well, it's trying to be different. For people like this, it doesn't matter how good something looks to them. It doesn't matter if it's honestly something that can't be bad in any way, shape, or form. If a lot of people are enjoying it, they have to make it their life's goal to not enjoy it and make everyone think it's bad. Now, they probably don't even think it actually looks bad, but they just have to be different at all costs. And if you guys watch my content, you'll know I never really get personal with my videos. Like, usually there's no reason for it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about Roblox on the internet. It's never that serious to me. But this time it's a bit different, not only for some clips that you'll see later in this video, but also for some messages I've seen where he's literally trash talking pretty much every content creator. I mean, not just me, but a lot of content creators. And some of these content creators, like Revolver AGZ, for example, also put a ton of work and effort in their videos. And we'll talk more about this later, but I just want to let you guys know there's a reason I'm not letting this slide. I'm not letting him just disrespect everybody and everybody's hard work and effort they consistently put out.
It's an echo chamber of content creators overhyping it, and this over-promotion culture just leads to disappointment each and every singular time. And Swift, the main cog gobbler of this game, just pisses me off. I mean, God forgive me, but his voice and recycled editing just pisses the fuck out of me. He takes off that nerve in the back of my head that no one else can. Rell Seas, Rell Seas.
And now you guys might understand a little bit why I don't mess with this man. The first thing is he talks about recycled editing when he's literally using damn near the same editing format as me. And even if him himself thinks his editing is better, or you guys even think his editing is better, it really shouldn't matter that much. The first thing is I upload damn near every single day. He uploads once every few weeks, and this video specifically, I know it took him weeks to make. And you guys might be thinking, how do I know it took him weeks to make? Well, if you look at the start of his video, he actually puts a screenshot of my channel. And in that screenshot, it says 26.6k subscribers and 145 videos. And now if you look at my channel, I have 167 videos and 30.3k subs. And I don't know why he would have had a screenshot of my channel before, so I'm assuming he took it when he initially started the video. So in the time span of him making this one video, I made 20 plus videos. And maybe he has to do other things. Maybe he goes to school as well, but I do as well. I'm also a college student. And regardless, obviously he didn't care about my scenario when he brought my name up multiple times this video channel and other people. Like I said, I don't even try to get personal with my videos. I try to be as respectful as possible most of the time, but this is just an exception. I mean, looking at his content and what he said on Discord, he literally just exists to shit talk me and other creators, and obviously the most popular and hyped up games that the community likes, and actually trash talking the community themselves. So obviously I'm gonna treat this scenario just a little bit different than normally. Now, would you believe me if I told you he sounds even dumber by the end of this video? I know you wouldn't believe me. Nobody would believe me, but matter of fact, he actually does.
Overall, the game will not live to the outrageous expectations people have overhyped them for unless they actually start putting in work and offering attention to more areas of the game. They need to fire whatever dipshit does their SFX and VFX. I don't know, man, just let them work as Tetris or something.
And I still just can't believe this is a serious video. If he told me he thought it was April Fool's and his calendar was messed up on his phone or something, I would believe him, because there's just no way. First of all, with the overhyped expectations, you are the only one that's holding it to this expectation. I don't know what content creators you think are holding Rell Seas as high as you are expectations wise. You're saying it has to be perfect, literally. And he says I need to put more work in more areas of the game. The only areas he's talking about is visuals and effects. So it seems like we got another case of if the visuals aren't perfect or the visuals aren't just really insanely good, the game is not good. And he even proves this in his comment section. He put a pinned comment about this. He said, quick heads up, Rell Seas White Knights, I think SFX and VFX aren't what makes a game good. Yes, they are. And then he goes on to say it's not worthy of the title of Bloxfruit's killer or the messiah of anime games, which really nobody even says these things. And maybe you've seen people say they're gonna play it over Bloxfruits. That doesn't mean it's gonna kill Bloxfruits. And then for the second part of the messiah of Roblox anime games, he literally made this one up. I've actually never heard anyone say this. Like, I read a lot of Rell Seas comments, and this is actually a new one. He got really creative with this straight up lie.
This overhyping culture needs to stop. It's a breeding ground for disappointment. Grand Kaizen was just a recent example of this. When are we ever gonna learn?
And you might think this last comment is actually somewhat decent, but it's really not. The first thing is he talks about this overhyping culture for games. And if we're talking about Grand Kaizen specifically, no one really overhyped Grand Kaizen. Or let me just speak for myself, because I can only really speak for myself. But I made two videos, one before the game came out and one after the game came out, both bashing the game completely. But even with that being said, people still played the game. And you guys might be thinking, why did you even cover it or make a video on it if the game is bad? Well, first of all, like I said, I have to support myself literally going through college, so not only is it my job to, actually cover these games, if I don't cover these games that I don't really like, those same people that are complaining that I do cover them are gonna complain that I only talk about Rell Seas. And I already get enough of that. I already get Swift TFG, why do you only talk about Rell Seas? Well, it's one of the only games that I'm actually looking forward to. It's only natural to want to make content on something you actually enjoy. I don't know why we're at this ridiculous standard where that's not a normal thing to do. And yes, I prefer talking about the new updates for Rell Seas over making a video on updates on games that are straight trash and I know they're gonna be bad. So for everyone saying that I'm glazing Rell Seas, I'm milking Rell Seas, all of these different things, it's not only that I just know they're gonna do better as videos, it's that I actually enjoy talking about the games compared to some of these other games. I also think it's funny that he only brings me up in this video specifically as a content creator, but half of the time he's talking about content creators, I'm one of the ones that actually is the exception to the rule that didn't do the thing that he hates so much. And also, this is just a bad comparison. Why are we comparing a game like Grand Kaizen, which showed us zero good things, compared to Rell Seas, Pocket Anime, and Holy War and games of this nature? Of course, people are going to be more hyped for games that have actually shown stuff that look really good compared to a game that literally showed nothing that somehow got hype, I guess. But realistically, I don't even feel like I need to explain why comparing Grand Kaizen to Rell Seas makes no sense. But I also do want to clarify some things. The first thing is, normally I would be a lot more respectful, like I said, but he's literally talking trash about myself, my own livelihood, and a lot of other people's. So to me, he doesn't deserve any respect, in my opinion. That's obviously just me. You guys can have your own opinion. But the second thing I want to clarify is I don't take any of this opportunity you guys have given me for granted. Every time you guys like, subscribe, watch the videos, watch the streams, literally anything that you guys do to support me, I really appreciate sincerely, and I don't take any of that stuff for granted. Like, I seriously want to make this clear because I don't want this video to come off as like some sort of ego or something like that, because I genuinely know I wouldn't be able to do anything without you guys actually watching and supporting the channel. Like, sometimes I look at the numbers and they don't even make sense to my head. Like, I remember my goal was to post consistently and average 10,000 views, and we're clearly way past that now. And I know it's gonna sound corny, but it really shows. If you guys really want something, just work hard and it's gonna start to happen. I'm not where I want to be still. Even though I'm a lot better than I was a year ago, I'm still not where I want to be. And I'm gonna keep working hard and keep making videos, and it's really just about the process. But at the end of the videos, when I say stuff like I appreciate y'all and I love y'all, I want y'all to know I'm being for real. Like, I know it kind of sounds like generic and it might go through one ear and out the other because so many content creators say it, but like when I wake up and see the numbers I be seeing and seeing how many of you guys, your comments, everything, where you guys are supportive, that actually means something to me, and I want you guys to know I mean that. And you guys have literally already changed my life. If my YouTube wasn't working like it was right now, I would be forced to have a normal like 9 to 5 type job while working in in college, and I realistically might never get out of that cycle and never be able to actually pursue my dream of becoming a content creator. So I just want to take a second to actually help you guys understand how much you guys realistically mean to me. So I really appreciate all of you guys. But with that being said, if you guys want to help the algorithm, like, subscribe, comment, you guys know the drill. But regardless, I want you guys to know I appreciate y'all, love y'all, thank y'all, later.